Number 10, DMX. Earl Simmons, known professionally as DMX, short for Darkman X, was an American rapper and actor. He began rapping in the early 1990s and released his debut album It's Dark and Hell's Hot in 1998, to both critical acclaim and commercial success, selling over 250,000 copies within its first week of release. DMX released his best-selling album, And Then There Was X, in 1999, which included the hit single Party Up, Up in Here. His 2003 single Where the Hood At and X Gon' Give It To You were also commercially successful. He was the first artist to debut an album at #1 5 times in a row on the Billboard 200 charts. Overall, DMX sold over 74 million records worldwide. But the story of the rapper DMX is one that consists of extreme highs and lows. He had an extremely difficult start to life. His mother was just 19 years old when she had him, and his early years were filled with abuse and torment. He ended up going through several foster homes and juvenile delinquency centers. However, he was able to get past all that and become one of the biggest rappers of the 90s era. In the last few years alone, there have been several run-ins with the law for substance possession, driving under the influence, animal abuse, and the list just goes on and on. One may even venture to say that he was never quite able to shake the demons from his childhood. Number 9, Meek Mill. Meek Mill is an American rapper. Born and raised in Philadelphia, he embarked on his music career as a battle rapper and later formed a short-lived rap group, the Bloodhounds. In 2008, Atlanta-based rapper T.I. signed Meek Mill to his first record deal. In February 2011, after leaving Grand Hustle Records, Mill signed with Miami-based rapper Rick Ross' Maybach Music Group. Mill's debut album, Dreams and Nightmares, was released in 2012 under MMG and Warner Bros. Records. The album, preceded by the lead single Amen, featuring Drake, peaked at #2 on the US Billboard 200. However, he was raised in the bleak, run-down, and gritty North Philly area, and his father passed away when he was just 5 years old. With all the hard times around him, Meek Mill realized that his love for rapping would be his only way out. At the age of 12, when most of us were obsessed with superheroes and sports or dolls, Meek was in the tough streets of his neighborhood battling anyone who wanted to challenge him. But the hard work and dedication paid off. 13 years later though. Number 8, J-Rock. Johnny Reed McKenzie Jr., better known by his stage name J-Rock, is an American rapper, singer, and songwriter from Los Angeles. He signed to indie label Top Dog Entertainment in 2005. Under TDE, Rock secured a record deal in 2007 with Warner Bros. Records and later Asylum Records, but mergers fell through and Rock departed from the label shortly after. He then signed with fellow American rapper Tech Nine's Strange Music in a joint venture deal with TDE. Apart from his solo career, Rock is also known for being a member of the hip-hop supergroup Black Hippie, alongside fellow West Coast rappers and TDE label mates Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, and Ab-Soul. However, he grew up in the neighborhood of Watts in Los Angeles. This area is notorious for its gang-infested streets and high level of guns and violence. As a youth, he was a part of the notorious Bloods gang and was arrested twice for taking part in illegal activities. But even with all the negativity, he was able to focus on following his dream to become a rapper. He has also had hit songs with mega artists like Lil Wayne and will.i.am. Number 7, Nicki Minaj. Nicki grew up in Queens, had a violent, substance-addicted father, and faced bullying at school. But after launching her career with Lil Wayne's help, Nicki rose way above her disadvantaged childhood. In 2012, she was 8th on Forbes' list of highest paid hip-hop artists. A year later, in 2013, she was 4th on Forbes' list at $29 million in income. That same year, she became the top charted female rap artist in the history of the Billboard Hot 100. Number 6, CeeLo. CeeLo Green is an American singer, songwriter, rapper, record producer, and actor. He is known for his work in hip-hop and R&B, including the Gnarls Barkley single Crazy, and his solo single F.U. When people think of CeeLo these days, the image that comes to people's mind is the cheerful, larger-than-life character that judges on the voice and belts out catchy hit songs like Crazy. But when you actually learn about his past, CeeLo had a hard upbringing marred with some heart-wrenching tragedies. Growing up, his father passed away when he was just 2 years old, and his mother became the primary person looking after him. His mom was a firefighter, and unfortunately tragedy struck her too. She was involved in a car crash and became paralyzed when CeeLo was 16 years old. She then passed away 2 years later. But CeeLo had the support of his group, the Goody Mob, and their production team, the Dungeon Family. With such a strong circle around him, he was still able to chase and attain his dreams. Number 5, Jay-Z. Jay-Z is an American rapper, record producer, and entrepreneur. He is regarded as one of the most influential hip-hop artists. He was the CEO of Def Jam Records and has been central to the creative and commercial success of artists including Kanye West, Rihanna, and J. Cole. Jay-Z first began his musical career in the late 1980s. He co-founded the record label Rockefeller Records in 1995 and released his debut studio album Reasonable Doubt in 1996. The album was released to widespread critical success and solidified his standing in the music industry. He went on to release 12 additional albums, including the acclaimed albums The Blueprint, American Gangster, and 444. He also released the full-length collaborative albums Watch the Throne with Kanye West and Everything Is Love with his wife Beyonce, respectively. However, he didn't grow up so great. Brooklyn was where he was raised by his mother and got involved with crime as a youth. Number 4. Nas. Nas is an American rapper. Rooted in East Coast hip-hop, he is regarded as one of the greatest rappers of all time. The son of jazz musician Aludara, Jones's musical career began in 1989 as he adopted the nickname Nasty Nas and recorded demos for Large Professor. He was later featured on the 1991 single Live at the Barbecue by Main Source. His second album, It Was Written, debuted atop the Billboard 200 and charted for 4 consecutive weeks. The album, along with its single If I Ruled the World, imagine that, featuring Lauryn Hill, catapulted Nas into international success. But things weren't always that nice. He grew up in the tough Queensbridge projects of Queens, New York City. His family lived in government-subsidized housing, and from his apartment window all he could see was substance dealing, police shakedowns, daytime shootings, and other social ills. He dropped out of high school, but used to be the inspiration of all the negativity around him to become a brilliant, quote, ghetto poet. Number 3. 50 Cent. Rapper 50 Cent had a tough time growing up in South Jamaica area of Queens, New York. The get rich or die trying rapper began getting involved in the substance game at the young age of 12 during the 1980s crack epidemic, and was famously shot at and struck by 9 bullets after trying to leave the substance scene in 2000. He was discovered by fellow rapper Eminem in 2000 and worked with him and Dr. Dre to become one of the world's highest selling rappers. Number 2. Cardi B. Cardi B is an American rapper and songwriter, and she is known for her aggressive flow, clever punchlines, and outspoken lyrics, which have received widespread media coverage and been vastly quoted online. Born and raised in New York City, she first gained popularity through Vine and Instagram. From 2015 to early 2017, she appeared as a regular cast member on the VH1 reality television series Love and Hip Hop New York, which depicted her pursuit of her music aspirations. But before that, she worked as an exotic dancer for years before she redirected her career as a social media influencer and rapper in 2015. Number 1. Eminem. Eminem literally came from the wrong side of the tracks. He was raised in a low-income black neighborhood in Detroit. As one of the few white families living in the area, he often got picked on by other kids in his area. His life at home was pretty difficult too. His mother's substance abuse and parenting issues have been documented in many of his songs, but somehow he was still able to find great success. He connected with Dr. Dre in 1997, and as they say, the rest is history. Eminem now has a net worth of over $230 million and accomplished everything on his own. Starting off this countdown at number 10, Jim Carrey. James Eugene Carrey is a Canadian-American actor and comedian. He broke out as a star in motion pictures with Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, all in 1994. This is followed up with Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, Batman Forever, and Liar Liar. In the 2000s, he gained future notice for his portrayal of the Grinch in How the Grinch Stole Christmas and for the comedy Me, Myself, and Irene, as well as Bruce Almighty, A Series of Unfortunate Events, Yes Man, Horton Hears a Who, and A Christmas Carol. In the 2010s, Carrey appeared in the films Mr. Popper's Penguins, Dumb and Dumber 2, and portrayed Leap Day William in the sitcom 30 Rock. In 2020, he portrayed Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog and its 2022 sequel, and Joe Biden in 6 episodes of Saturday Night Live in the lead up to the 2020 United States presidential election. But before his biggest role on In Living Color launched the Canadian comic's career in 1990, things weren't so smooth. At 12 years old, the actor was homeless and living in a van after his father lost his job. Number 9. Selena Gomez. Selena Marie Gomez is an American singer, songwriter, actress, and producer. Gomez began her acting career on the children's television series Barney and Friends from 2002 to 2004. As a teenager, she rose to prominence for starring as Alex Russo on the Disney Channel television series Wizards of Waverly Place. Alongside her television career, Gomez appeared in the films Another Cinderella Story, Princess Production Program, Wizards of Waverly Place the Movie, Ramona and Beezus, Monte Carlo, Spring Breakers, Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising, and A Rainy Day in New York. She also voiced the character Mavis in the Hotel Transylvania film franchise. Gomez also executive produced the Netflix television series 13 Reasons Why and Living Undocumented through her production company July Moonhead Productions. She also earned a nomination for Best Actress in a Comedy Series at the Critics' Choice Television Awards. She also made history when she was nominated as a producer for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Comedy Series for Only Murders in the Building at the 74th Primetime Emmy Awards. However, when she was an 18-year-old Disney star in 2011, she revealed to Hollywood Life that her mother gave birth to the future superstar when she was just 16 years old, and worked several jobs just to put food, often dollar store spaghetti, on the table. Number 8. Halle Berry. Halle Berry is an American actress. She began her career as a model and entered several beauty contests, finishing at the first runner-up in the Miss USA pageant and coming in 6th in the Miss World 1986. Her breakthrough film role was in the romantic comedy Boomerang, alongside Eddie Murphy, which led to a role in the Flintstones. Barry established herself as one of the highest paid actresses in Hollywood during the 2000s. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance of a struggling widow in the romantic drama Monsters Ball, becoming the only African-American woman to have won the award, and took on high-profile roles such as Storm in 4 installments of the X-Men film series, the henchwoman of a robber in the thriller Swordfish, Bond girl Jinx in Die Another Day, and the title role in Catwoman, the later for which she received $12.5 million. Although she now has a net worth of $90 million, she grew up poor, raised by a single mother in Cleveland, and once lived in a New York City homeless shelter before she made it big in Hollywood. Number 7. Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson is an American singer, songwriter, author, and television personality. She rose to fame after winning the first season of American Idol in 2002, which earned her a record deal with RCA. Her debut single, A Moment Like This, topped the US Billboard Hot 100 and became the country's best-selling single of 2002. It was included on her debut studio album, Thankful, which debuted atop the Billboard 200. Trying to reinvent her image, Clarkson parted ways with Idol management and shifted to pop rock for her second studio album, Breakaway. Supported by 4 US top 10 singles, the title track Since You've Been Gone, Behind These Hazel Eyes, and Because of You, Breakaway sold over 12 million copies worldwide and won 2 Grammy Awards. Clarkson took further creative control for her third studio album by December, co-writing all of its tracks and becoming its executive producer. Clarkson's 4th and 5th studio album, All I Ever Wanted and Stronger, returned to a lighter tone and pop rock sound, with the former becoming her second US #1 album, and the later making her the first artist to win the Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Album twice. In 2016, Kelly Clarkson left the audience and herself in tears when she performed a rendition of her song Piece by Piece on American Idol. The reason for all the emotion, however, was because the song was about her troubled childhood, which was punctuated by her father leaving her and her siblings being split up and scattered among family members. Number 6. Demi Moore. Demi Moore is an American actress. After making her film debut in 1981, Moore appeared on the soap opera General Hospital, and subsequently gained recognition as a member of the Brat Pack with roles in Blame It on Rio, St. Elmo's Fire, and About Last Night. She had her breakthrough for her starring role in Ghost, the highest-grossing film of that year. Her performance was praised and earned her a Golden Globe nomination. She had further box office success in the early 1990s with the film A Few Good Men, Incident Proposal, and Disclosure. In 1996, Moore became the highest-paid actress in film history when she received $12.5 million to star in Striptease. She had starring roles in the films Scarlet Letter and G.I. Jane, both of which were commercially unsuccessful and contributed to a downturn in her career. Her career has since had a resurgence with supporting roles in such films as The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, Bobby, Mr. Brooks, Margin Call, and Rough Night. In 2019, she released a memoir titled Inside Out, which became a New York Times bestseller. But Demi Moore's father left before she was born, and the man who became her stepfather was frequently out of work, forcing the family to move frequently. However, number 5, Mark Wahlberg. Mark Robert Michael Wahlberg, former stage name Marky Mark, is an American actor, businessman, and former rapper. He's received multiple accolades, including a BAFTA award and nominations for 2 Academy Awards, 3 Golden Globe Awards, 9 Primetime Emmy Awards, and 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards. In the 1990s, Wahlberg was a member of the music group Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, with whom he released the albums Music for the People and You Gotta Believe. Wahlberg made his screen debut in Renaissance Man, and had his first starring role in Fear. He also received critical praise for his performance in Boogie Nights, but as a child he was one of the 9 siblings in a broken home. He both used and sold substances as a child. He was also the aggressor in a series of violent, racially motivated assaults. The most serious charges resulted in imprisonment after being tried as an adult for attempting to take someone's life. Number 4, Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone is an American actor and filmmaker. After his beginnings as a struggling actor for a number of years upon arriving to New York City in 1969 and later Hollywood in 1974, he won his first critical acclaim as an actor for his co-starring role in The Lords of Flatbush. Stallone subsequently found gradual work as an extra or side character in films with a sizable budget until he achieved his greatest critical and commercial success as an actor and screenwriter. In 1977, Stallone was the 3rd actor in cinema to be nominated for Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay and Best Actor. Stallone's film Rocky was inducted into the National Film Registry and had its props placed in the Smithsonian Museum. Stallone's use of the front entrance to the Philadelphia Museum of Art in the Rocky series led the area to be nicknamed the Rocky Steps. Philadelphia has a statue of his character Rocky placed permanently near the museum, and he was voted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Sylvester Stallone was born in New York City's Hell's Kitchen, where his mother was a hairdresser. Broke and expecting a child, he took a few parts in B movies. At one point, he even sold his dog for cash. Number 3. Mila Kunis. Although she is mostly known for playing Jackie on That 70s Show, she has shown the world that she can do so much more. Since 1999, she provided the voice of the self-conscious daughter Meg Griffin on the animated sitcom Family Guy. Her breakthrough film, however, was Forgetting Sarah Marshall, in which she played a free-spirited character named Rachel. She has since starred in the films Max Payne, The Book of Eli, Black Swan, Friends of Benefits, Ted, and The Oz the Great and Powerful. Mila Kunis publicly vowed she and her husband, fellow actor and A-lister Ashton Kutcher, will not raise entitled children. That's because she grew up poor. An immigrant born in Ukraine, Kunis' family fled to America as the Soviet Union collapsed. In a 2016 interview with the Daily Mail, Kunis recalled eating ketchup soup as a kid when food was scarce. Number 2. Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is an American actor known for playing dark and unconventional characters in independent films. He has received various accolades, including an Academy Award, a British Academy Film Award, a Grammy Award, and 2 Golden Globe Awards. In 2020, the New York Times named him one of the greatest actors of the 21st century. Phoenix began his career by appearing in television series in the early 1980s with his brother River. His first major film roles were in Space Camp and Parenthood. During this period, he was credited as Leaf Phoenix, a name he gave himself. He took back his birth name, however, in the early 1990s and received critical acclaim for his supporting roles in the comedy drama To Die For. Phoenix received further critical acclaim and a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal in the historical drama Gladiator. He had success with the horror film Signs and The Village, and won an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award, and a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of musician Johnny Cash in Walk the Line. In 2014, Joaquin Phoenix revealed that his childhood involved a Spartan existence with his family, who trekked through South America as part of a cult called Children of God. Now coming in at number 1, Eminem. Eminem is an American rapper and record producer. He is credited with popularizing hip-hop in Middle America and is critically acclaimed as one of the greatest rappers of all time. Eminem's global success and acclaimed works are widely regarded as having broken racial barriers for the acceptance of white rappers in popular music. However, he was raised in the poor and racially charged area along 8 Mile Road, Detroit's symbolic poverty dividing line. I would change schools 2-3 times a year, the rapper told Anderson Cooper in a 2011 interview while reflecting on how his unstable home life affected his education. I got beat up in the bathroom, beat up in the hallways, shoved into lockers, for the most part just for being the new kid. Eminem later dropped out of school in the 9th grade due to problems he faced.
The first divorce on our list is a messy one at that. Number 10, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Unlike the other divorces on this list, it isn't expensive because of the settlement, but the actual legal fees and lawyers that seemingly added up to cost them loads of money. The couple were deemed legally single in 2019, but the custody battle and trips to the courthouse are still going on. They spend $10,000 a day on a private judge, and each spend around $1,500 an hour for their lawyers, who have been reported to work 40 to 50 hours a week. There's no exact amount spent yet, but I think we can put together a fairly rough guess of a whole lot. Coming in at number 9, even though it should really be number 2, is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I'm sure you've heard, no pun intended, all about this case, if not watched it. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp went at each other's necks in this broadcasted court case, and let us watch all of it. But we won't get all into that. Amber Heard reportedly makes $10,000 a month, but requested from Depp that he gives her spousal support of $50,000 a month, because her cost of living is $44,000 each month. Depp did exactly that, and has paid out Amber Heard $6.8 million so far for a basic living. $44,000 a month doesn't sound too basic to me, but I guess designer clothes and vacations every other week are considered necessities.
No human being is perfect, certainly not. None of us have never in my life committed sexual battery.
Number 8 on this list goes to former Beatles bass guitar and vocalist Paul McCartney and his ex-wife, former model and activist Heather Hills. The divorce was a rough one. Married in 2002 and burned out fairly quick as they split up a staggering 4 years after in 2006. Don't worry, it didn't end in 2006 because the divorce lasted another 2 years. They eventually came to a settlement. Hills initially sought after $250 million, but the final settlement was $48.6 million awarded to Hills. $48.6 million, don't get me wrong. That is a crazy amount of money. But wait until we get to number 1 on this list. That $46 million looks like pennies. Number 7, our beloved Madonna and film director Guy Ritchie. Madonna, the queen of pop, was married to the film director for 8 years when this took a turn in 2008. Now, Madonna and Guy Ritchie both agreed not to make any public statements, but trusted news sources have reported that Madonna paid Ritchie anywhere between $76 million and $92 million. Madonna, also known as Material Girl, has a net worth of $850 million, so don't worry, she stayed on top. And Madonna can do better anyways. Number 6, Kevin Costner and his ex-wife Cindy Silva, who were thought to be high school sweethearts, fell out of love after 16 years of marriage. With 3 kids, Kevin Costner's acting career took off, starring in my personal favorite baseball film, Field of Dreams, and many other all-time classics. When the couple fell out of love, they hit the courtroom with a hefty settlement that definitely put a dent in Costner's pocket, as he had to pay $80 million to his now ex-wife Cindy Silva. Number 5, Harrison Ford and Melissa Matheson. 17 years, not strong enough because Han Solo found interest in another woman. Of course, his then wife found out about the new affair and they left the rest up to the judge. This divorce lasted 3 years from 2001 to 2004, and the final payout to his ex-wife was a whopping $118 million. If you weren't considering it before, I highly recommend that everyone watching this marries rich. Number 4 on this list goes to the man who should have maybe just not got married to begin with. Tiger Woods and Elle Nordegren. What a mess that marriage and divorce was. Just because he's the best golfer of all time definitely doesn't mean he's gonna be the best husband. Tiger got caught with multiple affairs. Tiger definitely recollected himself after seeing the settlement amount going directly to his ex-wife. He got hit with a $100 million settlement, which wouldn't be the best news you could receive, but it was way better than the $750 million she initially wanted. Number 3, the GOAT Michael Jordan and his ex-wife. MJ. 17 years of marriage and he couldn't just stay loyal. Private investigators are said to have witnessed MJ in dozens of compromised situations with girls throughout 1992 to 2002. They did try to work out their marriage for a while, but eventually in 2006, they came to the mutual decision to split paths. On top of splitting paths, MJ also had to split a quick check for $168 million. Yes, the settlement was an earth-shattering $168 million. But to put that into perspective, Air Jordan just crossed over $5 billion in sales annually, so I don't think he even noticed the money was gone. Number 2, Mel Gibson and Robin Moore. 31 years, 7 kids, and a strong marriage at that. But it ended with a boom. And when I say boom, I mean a $425 million boom. Almost $500 million. They had no prenuptial agreement, and according to the California law, Robin was entitled to half of his worth, which at the time was $850 million. Robin definitely cheered up quickly after that divorce. I mean, who wouldn't be single for $425 million? I don't care how much they were in love, there's definitely smiles that day. At number 1, we have a divorce settlement that is more Jeff Bezos and his ex-wife Mackenzie Scott. Jeff Bezos, once being the richest man in the world, should have known way better not to get a prenup. But he didn't, and in the end, the billions of dollars his ex-wife got in the settlement goes to show that even the richest and smartest man in the world still get love struck. How many billions, you might ask? $38 billion. One more time for the people in the back. $38 billion. I wouldn't even know what to do with $1 billion, let alone 38 of them. Jeff, I know you're still a billionaire, but that definitely hurt a bit. That's our list for today. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content from The Rich Life.